Anime YouTubers are abundant, simply because any form of art or entertainment is subjective and people will have different views. They provide those. So why do we need anime YouTubers? For a while, at least on the Twitterverse, there's been some discontent over AniTubers or anime YouTubers and the things that they present, the ideas that they have, or the way that they form their opinions on their videos. And that's been a problem. Just for a little while, at least that I've noticed. But now it's a question of why. In the early days of anime YouTube, they were very basic. They used Windows Movie Maker and they put opinions out.
Hey, welcome to my first anime review, and today I'll be reviewing Bleach. Bleach is one of those animes that is really popular, but you can't really tell why after the first few episodes. But once it gets going, it'll hook you, reel you in, and drag you for one thrilling ride.
These would be the awkward days of anime YouTube, as everyone was just getting started and they finally had an outlet since YouTube had only recently opened just a few years prior, and no one knew if they would be interested in watching anything that was anime content related. At this time, Crunchyroll was just in its infancy with just a few things here and there that they would upload, and it was a very small list at the time. They didn't have anything legitimate, and most of it was user uploaded. During that time, however, you would still have forums from all over the place, including one's own Crunchyroll, where you could talk with other anime fans about what you liked. Some of those anime fans that were savvy enough were able to upload their opinions to YouTube, and some of them were able to make a living out of it. But this was before they cared about money, but simply wanted their opinions.
Done and dusted. All the 12 to 13 episode series are now completely finished.
This would be the start of new content creators that would focus all of their efforts towards anime on the YouTube platform. It would also enable anime YouTubers to use a site known as My Anime List that would allow them to create their own list of shows or manga that they had read or seen, and that way be able to give a comprehensive list of what they think instead of answering the same questions over and over again in multiple videos. Its main function would be to give anime scores, that of which they had seen and how many episodes they had completed, and manga with how many chapters that they had read, as well as giving it a score, as updating it would be quite sufficient for them to give a rating to something without having to make a singular video upon the topic. Needless to say that this would take off, as My Anime List would become the most invaluable tool for AniTubers going forward.
So if you guys are familiar with My Anime List, it's a website where you guys can actually make a list of anime that you plan to watch, completed, anime that you're watching, or anime that you've dropped. And it's a great place to find reviews of anime and just trying to get to know other people that are fans or not fans of certain anime.
Looking at the My Anime List page for Akashic Records was like an out-of-body experience. I clicked on it because it was the most popular non-sequel on the seasonal chart, and the sense of deja vu that it gave me for fall of 2015 was palpable.
With the new season of anime almost about, many of us will have to go about picking what is and isn't worth watching. Now, the first thing you'll want to do is ignore the seasonal charts and get yourself a My Anime List, Kitsu or AniList account. These are very useful free sites where the main functionality is being able to accurately track your self-loathing by seeing how many full days you wasted watching anime.
At the time, everything was coming together for anime YouTubers to make content that was focused around anime, but also be able to directly communicate with the people that would watch their content, the anime viewer. AniTubers would then become almost celebrities overnight, with a whole bunch of different articles coming out talking about the different ones that you could watch, ones that would give some fair opinions or what their type of content would consist of. In fact, it was only stated that some of these anime YouTubers would be some of the best choices to watch, including Glass Reflections Arcada, Giguk, Digibro, The Anime Man, and even someone as simple as the Canepa Effect. But all of these anime YouTubers would become successes, even to the point of being mentioned in Watch Mojo's videos.
Up is another channel that's unfortunately not been updating a lot lately, but still deserves a mention for great content. At number 5 is Kikok.
So, we finally make it to the capital and oh shit, the server's going offline for a few hours.
With all of this publicity in front of them, they would soon have to start owning up to their own critics, the anime fans themselves, the ones that would indulge in their content, and be able to give them some kind of feedback, i.e. in the form of a video.
Hi, my name's Travis, and this is my response to Giguk's anime rants on the Big Three.
Anime YouTubers had a group of response videos, ones that were aimed to talk about their disdain for some of these anime YouTubers in their comments. Despite the comments from the community, they still continued to make more videos, and these would earn them a lot of money, seeing as they still had a larger fan base than those who opposed them, and that would lead into more troubles.
Another ranking. Number 10, Spice and Wolf. I'm starting this list with a powerhouse. This anime is a beast.
With the ever-changing YouTube landscape, monetization was becoming tough, but it wasn't tough enough. And so with enough internet people to watch their content, they would soon start to monetize almost every facet of their being.
If you'd prefer to support them in another way, I get paid every time one of you signs up for a free trial at crunchyroll.com/basement or uses the promo code basement for a 600 yen discount on ebooks at bookwalker.com. Everyone's personal demons are just that, personal, and your path to beat them will be personal for you as well. But it's not something you have to do alone. You can get help from a counselor, talk to your friends and family, or just vent to a stranger online. One possible answer is to use this video's sponsor, BetterHelp, who actually didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them because I've heard that they're fantastic and I've tried their service myself and seen that it works, and I wanted to find a way at the end of this video to help you guys. So they set me up with a URL, betterhelp.com/basement, that you can use to try them out. If you're curious what they are, they're an affordable online counseling service that can connect you with any of their 2,000 different licensed therapists with expertise tailored to your specific needs.
YouTubers now, with money in their pockets and new sponsorship deals, they're able to make more content and also maintain a new lifestyle that they originally didn't have.
Are you willing to disclose what you made last year by chance?
Okay, well, I still haven't compiled all my taxes, so I'm not 100% sure. But also last year, I only started making serious money in the last 4 months.
That's
I will say that.
Do you have a projected income for this year? Do you think you know what it'll be?
Projected income for this year, can't say because it varies month to month, but it could be anywhere between $60,000 and $100,000.
Welcome everybody to the Mr. Connexia Mansion tour. Yeah, it's a mansion. It's so big you're gonna see inside. It's so huge. So we're not gonna let you in the reins for too long. Come on, let me walk you through this magical place, and we'll have a good time together.
With advertisements being shoved into the anime viewer's face, they soon started to ask questions on what the income would be like.
But concerning how much money I make should be none of your fucking business.
Being dodgy with the anime community was definitely not a step that they had thought to take this in, but instead it would only get worse, as fan perception would soon start to change, from selling everyone a product that may or may not have been so good, to being outright deceptive. But even in some cases, even if there were an anime fan to watch their videos, there was always going to be something that would happen. Misinformation.
This is exactly how white supremacists explain the other races causing issues for white people when they are supposedly the superior race. Goblins themselves have a long history as a Jewish caricature, being hook-nosed creatures who hole up in their caves hoarding wealth.
And by the same token, if someone asks me in the future how to get anime romance right, I'm probably going to point to MMO Junkie alongside classics like Toradora and Kare Kano because, well, it belongs alongside them. It's that good. Even though by doing so, I'm indirectly exposing more people to Yaginuma's hateful ideas.
After some negative reception, anime YouTubers then took to Twitter in most recent times so that way they can interact with their audience in real time, but also have the same type of misinformation that was in their videos, specifically this one from Mr. Connexia, where he claimed that the people that were complaining about CGI anime don't realize that 90% of all anime are made in 3D nowadays. As this thread of Mr. Connexia's blew up, it started to become apparent that maybe he wasn't very talented in this particular department, seeing as he had a failed project called Connexia and the 8 Seals, but then proceeded to double down and sometimes even triple down on his comments, before being debunked by other animators in Japan that have worked on shows that can tell the proper techniques and that it was not used in 3D CG. He would then post a twit longer explaining the CGI and anime drama that he had ensued on Twitter, and instead of trying to dismiss anything that may have been incorrect on his part, he then proceeded to quadruple down in this instance, claiming that it's just the way that he sees it and that he's still not entirely convinced. That being the only recent thing, there was also the Flying Colors Foundation, which was a little bit before earlier last year, in which the Flying Colors Foundation, a non-profit organization so they claimed, came into the picture and promoted 6 main influencers, all of them anti-tubers, so that way they could get this poll and gather this information for the Flying Colors Foundation, who wanted to, on face value, submit them over to Japanese companies to tell them which anime people were interested in. They would take things like your geographic location, how old you are, and if you suffered from any mental illnesses. This would become apparent that people didn't know why they would be asking these questions, but in the process they ended up breaking multiple state and federal laws. Anime YouTubers like Digibro then gave their side of the story during a video that they had recorded soon after.
As I had understood them, these guys were 3 dudes who were just at Crunchyroll Expo, who were going around talking to anime YouTubers, telling them about this thing they were doing where, like, they were planning on trying to get involved in, like, the process of how anime productions are handled. Where, like, they thought that, like, the production bureaus that are currently operating in Japan were just not doing a good enough job at, like, marketing their shows. They weren't making the kind of shows people wanted to see, and they weren't marketing those shows to a big enough audience.
Further along in Digibro's story, he was then told that he would be compensated for his time for going through this entire investment, which he then made a video about the Flying Colors Foundation. But in a now deleted TwitLonger post from Giguk, he explains that he had no idea what was happening with the Flying Colors Foundation as well, and what would happen with the data that they had collected. But to much avail, no one knew what was going on. Out of the 6 different anime YouTuber influencers, only 2 of them had shared their story, but the rest just never talked about it. They never brought it up, and they never even mentioned the existence of the Flying Colors Foundation, except in prior videos.
Huge shout out to the fucking MVPs of this entire poll, the lovely folks over at Flying Colors Foundation. Now, if you guys don't know Flying Colors Foundation, they are an anime NPO, non-profit organization, which I got to be friends with through my buddy Giguk or Gant. Again, shout out to you, my boy. The lovely dudes over at Flying Colors Foundation were actually responsible for bringing all of the data together to make it into a top 100 list, and also even put together a nice visual representation of all of the information we were able to get out of this top 100.
Outside of these allegations with the Flying Colors Foundation, I even ran a poll of my own. I asked people to submit their reasons why they didn't like anime YouTubers or why they stopped watching the current ones. And some of the responses I got were varied, to say the least. One comment in particular was that they like to laugh, and anti-tubers don't make them laugh.
It will ring true this time as well. I will bring it in once again. Undefeated. Never lost. Unbeatable. Okay, I don't think I've won a single try not to laugh challenge, but I challenge you guys again on my Twitter.
Okay.
I really need to shave. I think I need to get a haircut too.
And that's what my life has been like for the past month or so.
With comedy being somewhat of a deciding factor for some of the other issues that people had were because of drama issues.
Can't fucking do it anymore. Can't fucking do it. Can't sit around. Can't watch stuff go down. Gotta say something, guys. Look. Fucking sick of the anime YouTube community. Fucking sick of anime YouTubers. In fact, I won't even call it a community, because it's not really. In fact, the biggest problem with anime YouTubers is that most of them aren't watching other anime YouTubers. Seem to have a lot of opinions about them, but aren't really watching their content or anything.
These statements alone would cause an uproar within the anime YouTube community of content creators, ones that would respond to him or bring him onto a podcast.
So for those of you who don't know, Digibro, another analytical anime YouTuber, basically just exercised his right to be a loud, obnoxious, drunk American and made a rant focusing on the lack of quality in the content of this community, and he critiques many anime YouTubers, myself included.
In case those of you who listen to this podcast don't know, recently released a video titled just 30 minutes of me shit-talking other anime YouTubers. Oh god, what have I done?
Beautiful title, by the way. Fantastic title. Like,
It encapsulates everything All of my feelings about the video are in the title.
Beautiful. The thing is, though, you always fucking do this. You're always so sure of yourself about everything. Like, even I had my doubts about bringing up this video as evidence, since it's so jargony, and hell, maybe I missed something between the lines. I know I'm not infallible, I know I can be wrong, but you are so unbelievably arrogant that the thought that you could be wrong hasn't even crossed your mind. You're so happy to just assert that you're right and dismiss anyone as a child or entitled or some other bullshit motive argument that can't be grounded. I'm sorry, I debated being civil.
There's constantly more drama every time that you look around in the anime YouTube community, and this all started from fans wanting to express themselves on a website so that way they could tell each other what they enjoyed or ones that maybe they just didn't like so much. But now we are stuck in a world where anime YouTubers will put out content. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it will be bad, and sometimes there will be infighting, and sometimes there won't be. But this video is mainly about seeing who our anime YouTubers are and what they do and why they matter. They matter for content, conversation, and for knowledge. How they sell that to you is a completely different story. And that's why I made this video in the first place. Because it's time to get rid of the old and in with the new. And what I mean by that is, we just have to change up a little bit. I know that some of you may be familiar with the content that I make or what I may do on this channel in particular, but I'll go ahead and give you a soft refresher. I'm a YouTuber for fun. I don't really care about the monetary gain that I could possibly get from it. I don't really care about sponsorships all that much, but you know, they're appreciated. But honestly, I just like making videos and having my own community of people to talk to. Ones that can send big anime titties to me and I could send to them. Those types of things are what keep me going. The constant just giving artists the spotlight, which is why I started this channel to begin with. And lately, because of my current financial situation, isn't all the way possible. But soon, when it is over, when I am back to work and making a lot of money, then you'll see a lot more people here. You're gonna see a lot more artists. But until then, we're just gonna do the best that we can. You know, laughing at people on the internet, as we've been doing before. So, to the 15,000 plus of you, and maybe potentially more, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy this video. It's time to get away from the Kuru art, because, according to her, I am not so much into the LGBTQ+, which is a lie anyways, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna get past it, and nothing will be taken away. You're just gonna have to look at my beautiful, sexy face as I look at yours. So, with that being said, see you later. Time to me to fuck off into the sunset.